Hey everyone, and welcome back to SWAGourmet. Now, I don't know whether to call this episode 3 or episode 2 continued, but what I mean by that is after posting our carne asada tacos videos from last week, I got several comments, 2 of which kind of stuck out. I'll read them to you. So, bballa75 said, "Also, I'm a big fan of chicken when I go to restaurants like Willie's, so what should I do to marinate the chicken or do something to give it that Mexican spin?" Alright, that's number 1. Number 2. CJ Searles said, "Can you do some meatless stuff too? I need all the help I can get." So today, I'm going to show you how we can tailor our carne asada tacos from last week with the steak, but give it a spin for vegetarian and for chicken. So, I'm going to start with our chicken. Now, I actually replied to B-Balla's comment and said that I thought a rub would be better instead of a liquid marinade, but I actually went to Willie's today, kind of changed my mind a bit. So I'm going to show you how to make a great liquid marinade called an adobo sauce. Kind of fitting if you go to Willie's and see they have the adobe chicken burrito, it's kind of the same thing there. So I'm going to show you an adobo sauce. Now, this, you see they're going to be working with a lot of chilies, but really it's not going to be that hot because we're going to use some versatile chilies that don't bring too much heat. So let's get started with that. Excuse me as I grab my blender. Alright, so as I was saying, we're using several different types of chilies today. Our first one is called an ANCHO chili. I think I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but what these are basically poblano peppers, Mexican peppers, dried out, so completely dehydrated, no liquid, dry here, dry chilies. And they're actually not spicy at all, they're more nutty, and if you smell it, it smells kind of fruity too. So I have one ANCHO chili here. I cut off the stem a little bit. So that'll be our first ingredient that we're going to put in our blender. We're going to blend this up because we want to make a liquid marinade out of it, and so we can do that if we put all our ingredients in the blender. And next, we're using a guajillo chili. This also is actually not very spicy at all, but again, really great earthy flavors that are going to go well in our adobo sauce. So again, slice off the top, put it right in our blender. And finally, we have a chipotle pepper, which is actually a jalapeno pepper. This comes marinated in some adobo sauce also, so that'll definitely help our flavor. So these are hot. I don't want to have too many, so I'm sticking with one. One chipotle pepper. Smells very good. Get that right in our blender. Alright, that's all for our chilies. Next, I'm going to add 1 tomato. I'm just going to slice it in half. We can go in really easy. So 1 tomato. 2 cloves of garlic. Of course, garlic, I love that flavor, and a lot of things I cook with, really nutty, almost oniony. Alright, now I have 1 teaspoon of paprika. This is a Spanish spice, so that's why we're going to use it in Mexican. Great flavor. Get that in there. Alright. Then 1 teaspoon of cumin. I think I've talked about this a little bit also. Used in Indian and Mexican cooking. One of my favorite spices, very aromatic, great flavor. Get that in there. 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, just to add a little bit of sweetness in contrast to our spice. And now what makes an adobo sauce, really 3 things. Our chilies, our tomatoes, and vinegar. So I have 1/3 cup of white apple cider vinegar. I'm going to pour that right in. It's going to help these things blend up and add some acidity also. Alright, now just finish off with some salt and pepper. And some water. I have a 1/2 cup of water just to kind of help with blending. Alright, so grab our cover. Let's give this a blend. Okay, so we have all our ingredients blended up in here, and by the way, I just give it a taste, and it's very, very good. It's very, tomatoey, so you have great tomato flavor, nutty from the garlic. You have that kick in the back of the throat from our chilies. Great combination. So, I have our chicken here. I have 3 pieces of chicken breast, boneless, skinless, probably what you'd buy at the store. So, this is our marinade. So I'm just going to pour this right over our chicken. And really, you can use this as a salsa too, or a sauce if you're making some other sort of Mexican meat dish. So, but we're using it for a marinade, but really, it's really versatile. So, if there's anything else you want to do with this, feel free. Alright, that's looking good. But we'll just cover this, and and set it in the fridge. This should sit in the fridge if you have time, as long as you can really. You can do it in the morning and leave it in your fridge, and you can go throughout your day, so for hours really, but I'd say 1 to 3 hours, maybe a good range, or more, again if you have time. And if you want to just see what this looks like. This is a great orange-red color, and our chicken is swimming happily in there. And that's exactly what we want. Meat completely submerged. So we'll cover this again and stick it in the fridge for as long as you can. Alright, so I've taken my chicken out of the fridge. It has been marinating in our adobo sauce. So now it is ready to go on our grill. Seems like this happens every time, but again it's getting dark outside, so we're using a grill pan inside. Same job as a grill, but it's inside, which is great. So when it's unable to cook outside, you get the same grill marks, same effect inside. So we have our 3 pieces of chicken breast here. I have sprayed my grill pan with some non-stick, so now we can bring these over and get grilling. So a tip for cooking chicken, whether it be pan searing in a pan or grilling on a grill or in a grill pan, what you always want to do, we said we're going to put the chicken down presentation side first. Now what that means is, if you look at your piece of chicken here, right here, the smooth side, there's a smooth side and there's a more veiny part. So the presentation side is going to be the shiny part. That's the really pretty side that you want to serve up if you're plating. So we want to put our presentation side down first because we want that side to cook when the pan is still nice and hot and when the cooking is at the prime right as we add our chicken on. So that's what we say, that's what we mean when we say we want to put our chicken down presentation side first. So that's what we're going to do. Our presentation side is down first. And again, like with our steak last week when we marinated it, the marinade is going to form almost like a glaze right on top of the meat. And so that's going to make a great flavor and also a great char on the outside, texture-wise. Alright. So chicken is really something you have to cook all the way through. There's no medium well for chicken. Chicken has to be cooked all the way through. For temperature-wise, if you want to check it, 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 minutes per side should work here. So in 6 minutes, we'll get flipping and see how it's going from that point. Alright, I just wanted to talk about a few more things as our chicken is grilling over there. The aroma is filling the kitchen, and it's wonderful. But I want to talk a little bit more about our chilies and where you can get them. So to start, our ANCHO chilies, as I said, these are dried poblano peppers. I got these at my supermarket today, just your everyday supermarket, you can find those there. Our chipotle peppers, these are jalapenos again, that are marinated in adobo sauce. Get this in a can. Again, same place you found your ANCHO chili, same aisle, ethnic foods aisle at your local supermarket. But trouble came for me as I was trying to find our guajillo chilies. These, again, not too spicy, like our ANCHO, more nutty, fruity almost. These I did not find at my supermarket when I got these other 2 chilies. So I had to go to an international farmer's market close to my house. So when you're out shopping for these recipes, just keep in mind that you probably won't find these guajillos at your local supermarket where you got these 2. If you have a more international farmer's market, you'll definitely find these. I went there, a whole wall of bags of different types of chili peppers, and guajillo was there, which was amazing, and I was very happy to find them. So you can find them there, and you can find your ANCHO and chipotle at your local supermarket also. Alright, I'm here, 6 minutes later, time to flip. Now I kind of just learned a lesson the hard way. With these thick pieces of chicken breast, you really want to make sure your flame is not up too high from the get-go, because what will happen is you'll start to burn your first side, yet the inside may not be cooked all the way through, so just make sure it's on like a medium, and you should be good. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip my chicken. It looks really good, smells really good. And you can see, oh yeah, our marinade is really just going to be great with this chicken. It's definitely cooking. So we'll just give it around 6 more minutes, and then we'll be back at that point. Alright, so our chicken is still cooking over here. Now, I just want to show you a little trick here to kind of elevate your chicken even more. So I took our marinade. We had lots of leftover marinade, of course. We don't want it to go to waste, so what I've done here, I'm actually going to use it in our grilling stage of our chicken. So I put it in a pan, and what you have to do is you have to make sure you bring it up to when it's boiling, because remember, there was raw meat sitting in this marinade, so we really have to make sure we cook out all the bacteria. So it's been boiling here, and I was planning on pouring a little bit on top of the chicken after it's done cooking, but I think I'm going to use a little bit of this to just baste the chicken as it's cooking, to just pour a little bit of the sauce right on top. So again, we can get some more of that great flavor. And it can also keep the chicken really moist as it's cooking, and that's never a bad thing. So we'll let the chicken keep cooking, then we'll see. Alright, our chicken is perfectly done. So if you want to come in and take a look, perfect grill marks and char. It's going to add a lot of flavor, and we basted it with our marinade, so it's almost like a sauce, a glaze right on top. So that's all perfect. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to plot it on my cutting board for now. Leave that piece in there for later. Take it over here. Now last week with our steak, we cut the meat against the grain, which is how I was telling you have to do to really sever those tendons so you don't end up with chewy meat. With chicken, it's not so much it's not as big of a deal, since you don't really have the tendons and the natural ridges that you can see with the steak. So with this, you don't really have to cut against the grain. Maybe try and slice just against the direction of the curve, the side of the breast right here. So I'm going to start by doing that. Again, these are going to be in tacos, burritos, whatever you're doing. So cut it pretty thinly so you don't end up with ridiculously thick slices that are hard to eat. Cutting into it, perfectly done. Really juicy on the inside because we basted it and we marinated it. Beautiful. Very proud of this. So Bvala75, I hope you check out this video, and I hope you give this recipe a try at home. I know you'll like it, and I think it's a great spin to put on some chicken. Really add to your Mexican dishes, because it has lots of great Mexican flavors with our chilies, with our spices. I'm just going to give a little piece here a try. The chicken's tender. And the marinade got some acidity from the vinegar. You get the tomato as the base, and the almost really sweet, spicy peppers working at the same time there. Brown sugar adding a little bit of sweetness too. Great balance of flavors. It's like a Mexican fiesta once again, only with chicken instead of steak. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please give these recipes a try. I'll be sure to post them on my blog, Season with Swag. Check them out at seasonwithswag.blogspot.com. Now leave me alone so I can eat. One more thing I wanted to say. I was enjoying my nice sample with the camera following me back because I forgot to mention something. I just want to let you know how my ideas for serving this. You maybe think it looks kind of incomplete, so go back and watch last week's episode for our carne asada tacos, specifically our cilantro cream pico de gallo. Actually, what I'm thinking with this chicken, a great way to serve it, heat up your tortillas, put your chicken down, and actually grilled peppers and onions are a great way to enhance a Mexican dish like tacos. Get some bell peppers, red, orange, yellow, whatever colors you like, make a rainbow if you like, and get some onions, thick cut if you want. Just put it on your grill right where you cook the chicken, get some of those juices to cook with it. Season the peppers, maybe with some salt and pepper, paprika, cumin, garlic. Make it a fiesta and enjoy it. So layer down your chicken, your peppers and onions, and I'd say the cilantro cream, which we made last week. So again, go back, check out those recipes on my YouTube channel, and hopefully you'll enjoy this meal as much as I am beginning to. Alright, take care guys.